Neville Goddard, Feeling is the Secret, Chapter 3, Prayer. Prayer, like sleep, is also an entrance into the subconscious. When you pray, enter into your closet, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father which is in secret, and your Father which is in secret shall reward you openly. Prayer is an illusion of sleep which diminishes the impression of the outer world and renders the mind more receptive to suggestion from within. The mind in prayer is in a state of relaxation and receptivity akin to the feeling attained just before dropping off to sleep. Prayer is not so much what you ask for as how you prepare for its reception. Whatsoever things ye desire when ye pray, believe that you have received them, and ye shall have them. The only condition required is that you believe that your prayers are already realized. Going to the end. Your prayer must be answered if you assume the feeling that you would be yours. Your prayer must be answered if you assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your objective. The moment you accept the wish as an accomplished fact, the subconscious finds means for its realization. To pray successfully, then, you must yield to the wish, that is, feel the wish fulfilled. The perfectly disciplined man is always in tune with the wish as an accomplished fact. He knows that consciousness is the one and only reality, that ideas and feelings are facts of consciousness and are as real as objects in space. Therefore, he never entertains a feeling which does not contribute to his happiness, for feelings are the causes of the actions and circumstances of his life. On the other hand, the undisciplined man finds it difficult to believe that which is denied by the senses, and usually accepts or rejects solely on appearances of the senses. How, as an example, a prisoner of war, let's change into a different subject completely, of course. A prisoner of war, this crossed my mind this morning, would have to have a very disciplined mind. The perfectly disciplined man is always in tune with the wish as an accomplished fact. In World War II and other wars, there were prisoners of war that had to ignore the senses they were seeing in front of them and put themselves in the feeling of arriving home again. And this is how some of them survived many, many years of being prisoners of war. That crossed my mind this morning because if you think that in your reality you have limitations, you compare yourself to someone who was a prisoner of war, World War II, who had massive limitations. Again, here's all that is, I am God. Here's your self-concept. Here's another self-concept. Many self-concepts exist in reality. If those limitations in front of you are telling you you're a prisoner of war, but yet you can impress yourself with that freedom you will experience again, you will ignore what you see in the world. You will ignore your five senses and you will maintain that image that you will be free again. Because if you're a prisoner, you definitely desire freedom. The prisoner of war concept is fascinating because there was definitely some studies, and there was some certain prisoners of war that these Americans were in a Japanese prisoner of war camp for like years. And when they finally were freed, they mentioned how they used to reread books in their mind while they were in this deeply fasted ketosis state because they were barely eating anything. And they raised to these levels of brilliance within themselves while in that state. This is a state none of us wish on each other, of course, but due to the circumstances that they were in, they were able to exercise their consciousness in radical ways. I don't think we barely realize our potential, and we're going into learning it here in a massive, massive way. But there's so much potential within us; it's unbelievable. But we're definitely peeling back the onion right now and exposing some of this through this work. On the other hand, the undisciplined man finds it difficult to believe that which is denied by the senses and usually accepts or rejects solely on appearances of the senses. Because of this tendency to rely on the evidence of the senses, it is necessary to shut them out before starting to pray, before attempting to feel that which they deny. Whenever you are in a state of mind, whenever you are in the state of mind, I should like to, but I cannot, the harder you try, the less you are able to yield to the wish. You never attract that which you want, but always attract that which you are conscious of being. Prayer is the art of assuming the feeling of being and having that which you want. When the senses confirm the absence of your wish, all conscious effort to counteract this suggestion is futile and tends to intensify the suggestion. Prayer is the art of assuming the feeling of being and having that which you want. I am that. I am married. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am free. I am. Prayer is the art of assuming the feeling of being and having that which you want. When the senses confirm, when the senses, the world and the senses confirm the absence of your wish, all conscious effort to counteract this suggestion is futile and tends to intensify the suggestion. Prayer is the art of yielding to the wish and not forcing of the wish, not the forcing of the wish. Whenever your feeling is in conflict with your wish, feeling will be the victor. The dominant feeling invariably expresses itself. Prayer must be without effort. In attempting to fix an attitude of mind which is denied by the senses, effort is fatal. To yield successfully to the wish as an accomplished fact, you must create a passive state, a kind of reverie and meditative reflection similar to the feeling which precedes sleep. In such a relaxed state, the mind is turned from the objective world and easily senses the reality of let me repeat that sentence. In such a relaxed state, the mind is turned from the objective world and easily senses the reality of a subjective state. It is a state in which you are conscious and quite able to move or open your eyes, but have no desire to do so. An easy way to create this passive state is to relax in a comfortable chair or on a bed. If on a bed, lie flat on your back with your head on a level with your body. Close the eyes and imagine that you are sleepy. Feel, I am sleepy, so very sleepy. In a little while, a faraway feeling accompanied by a general lassitude and loss of all desire to move envelops you. In a little while, a faraway feeling accompanied by a general lassitude and loss of all desire to move envelops you. You feel a pleasant, comfortable rest and not inclined to alter your position, although under other circumstances you would not be at all comfortable. When this passive state is reached, imagine that you have realized your wish, not how it was realized, but simply the wish fulfilled. Imagine in picture form what you desire to achieve in life. Then feel yourself as already having achieved it. Thoughts produce tiny little speech movements which may be heard in the passive state of prayer as pronouncements from without. Thoughts produce tiny little speech movements which may be heard in the passive state of prayer as pronouncements from without. However, this degree of passivity is not essential to the realization of your prayers. All that is necessary is to create a passive state and feel the wish fulfilled. All you can possibly need or desire is already yours. You need no helper to give it to you. It is yours now. Call your desires into being by imagining and feeling your wish fulfilled. As the end is accepted, you become totally indifferent as to possible failure, for acceptance of the end wills the means to that end. As the end is accepted within you, as your feelings feel the end, As the end is accepted, you become totally indifferent as to possible failure. For acceptance of the end wills the means to that end. You're not concerned with how. When you emerge from the moment of prayer, it is as though you were shown the happy and successful end of a play, although you were not shown how the end was achieved. However, having witnessed the end, regardless of any anticlimactic sequence, you remain calm and secure in the knowledge that the end has been perfectly defined. Wonderful, wonderful chapter, prayer. Very, very important piece of this. Yeah, it's a very short 2-page chapter. It is hard to really express the importance of this concept because any subconscious impression is an art of prayer. If you're doing it with your eyes open while driving and imagining that parking space or imagining lovingly for that homeless person, you're doing prayer in the awake state. And you're actually going into the Sabbath with the same prayer that you would use if you're lying, you're closed off to the senses, you're lying in bed, lying in your comfortable chair, you're seeing the art of the end, which is, that art is you in that picture of being, experiencing, coming home from your honeymoon in Hawaii. You're walking through the door with your partner. You've been married, you've been on the honeymoon. The art of imagining that and feeling that is prayer. It's a very small amount of effort he's put into this book to describe this, but it's the largest thing you're doing anytime you're actually imagining. If you're imagining with feeling, you are in prayer. And as we said in the last chapter, I believe it was, anytime you have feeling attached to an emotional reaction about anything, that is a form of prayer. That's prayer in action. It's happening. When you have a reaction with feeling to anything out in the world, that's a form of prayer. So prayer is always present when feeling is present. The news hits you with some very captivating images and you react to them emotionally. That is a form of prayer. Don't think that these agencies don't know what they're doing by getting your attention with more fantastic things. And incidentally, there's very fantastic things happening with fires right now, and they're not wonderful at all. It's a subject for another video, but my, oh my. My prayers go out wonderfully as I can possibly imagine, just the best for all involved. It's very, very intense right now. So I send my prayers as you should yours. And my prayers are that all the phoenix rises from the ashes and all people who are impacted all have a wonderful outcome. You can see them having the wonderful lives getting better, lives improving. This is the best form of prayer. To ignore the senses of what is being portrayed to the reality of what has happened and see the positive outcome. I know it's a very, very touchy subject, but prayer is also this. Prayer is seeing the success after the turmoil. That is how the energy travels. It goes back into consciousness, and that consciousness is what gives the desire in all different people experiencing. All of us are having experience, so we're all getting a desire. Prayer is the most important concept among all of this. Anytime you have a reaction with feeling, you are in prayer. You think of a friend, think the positive and feel them telling you about their new wonderful news. You have a feeling about your boss. Think the positive, feel the positive. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. They're giving me a raise. They're giving me a promotion. They're giving me more vacation time. I can't believe it, but man, it happened and I feel much better because of it. Prayer is a consistent rolling thing that you are part of. Feeling is involved, which it always is. You're always in prayer. So just remember that. All right. Feeling is the secret, chapter 3, prayer. We'll see you in the next chapter.